While we fully support amateur and professional MMA, we already know that those guys and girls can throw some heavy leather. What we see a lot of times are street fighters who think they can fight and learn that they cannot. In this video, we're going to take a look at street fighters who can actually throw a heavy shot or some good strikes. Though not a lot of people were entirely for backyard MMA at first, it seems that people are actually training now and making it entertaining. With that being said, we're going to zoom in on backyard fights or notorious street fighters to have some pop on their punches. Here are backyard fighters who can crack. Triple G is what we can call a born fighter. This guy was competing well beyond his age and experience when he was just 11 years old. We're going to use this bout as an example to not set a standard, but to show what elite boxing looks like against a trash talker before we get into the lower skilled bouts. Triple G is one of the best boxers to ever do it. His high fight IQ and speed is what separates him from the rest, and his highlights are always fun to watch. However, this clip hits a little bit harder with the trash talk that went down before the fight.
Checks that Gennadi's ass can't cash. And come Saturday, I'm gonna Gennadi up.
I have just one question for our students. Hey man, are you serious right now?
Who's your favorite boxer of all time? Let us know down below.
Followed it by an even better left hook that sent Curtis Stevens to the camera. The first right hook was a great setup punch.
Shout out to Street Beeps for the footage used here. Here we got two fighters who don't know exactly how to fight, but boy are they trying. It's like each shot has every ounce of strength they have backing it, and you can see on their faces that they've both been hit with some heavy leather. What the fighters here lack in skill, they make up for in spunk and willingness to slug it out. A big problem with a lot of street fighters is that they're too scared to get hit, and it takes away from their offense. These guys are both down to eat one to give one. Their offense just, still isn't that good regardless. Who do you think was winning the exchanges here? Let us know down below. Also, again, a huge shout out to Street Beeps. Be sure to check them out and give them the credit they deserve. Right off the jump, we can see who's comfortable with fighting and who's just trying to look comfortable. Though I don't recommend fighting in sweats, this guy seems to have figured it out. The initial leg kick is enough to take the base away from his poor opponent. After that, it was game over. The victim here, and yeah, I think the term victim is fitting, was terrified moving forward. Rather than being mindful to overall defense, he was anticipating and afraid of another leg kick landing. That fear opened him up for a few brutal punches that followed suit. This was a quick fight, and the guy who won looked like a bit more than a street fighter to me. What do you think? Was the guy actually a decent fighter? Drop a comment, let us know what you think. Wow, did this fight trigger my OCD? Because it was super uneven. That joke goes out to my fellow people who need the volume to be at an even number. Niche crowd, but I think it'll land. Anyway, back to the fight. This is an absolute beatdown. And that's not to say that the shorter fighter here is bad, it's just that his opponent swings heavy and relentlessly. Like, I feel this guy could hit me and my car alarm would go off from 20 yards away. However, at the end of the clip, we see the shorter fighter throwing and landing a few good shots. They weren't the most significant of the bout, but they were enough to have the crowd erupt a little bit. We all love an underdog story, even if it's told in the form of a 30-second fight. Okay, so for a street fight, a blue belt with no stripes on it is certainly a flex. Like, most people get a stripe on a white belt in their lifetime, so this is a good sign in this bout. However, his opponent has a unique hands-down style that he's oddly making work for him a bit. The guy in the gi is using his lead leg kicks almost as a jab, and it's giving his opponent a lot of trouble. Unable to really find a way around that lead leg kick, this guy is having to get picked apart from the outside or take spoke risks, and he went with the risk-taking route. This worked for him in flashes. He was able to land a bomb and knock the mouthpiece out of the gi-wearing fighter, but moments later, he ran into a punch that induced a nap. Win or lose, this was very, very high level for a Street Beeps fight, so thanks to them for this bout. Are you enjoying the content so far? If so, drop a like and let us know. Let's start out the new year by upping the subscribers. Make sure you hit the bell icon as well and never miss an upload. You know a knockout is sick when you replay it about 10 times just to fully grasp what happened. In this one, even after 10 views, I still don't know what happened. I'm sure the angle was bad for this knockout, but even reading his body language, I'm confused where the shot came from. All I know is it landed and it did more than just get the job done. The fighter in the orange gloves obviously has some boxing experience and played to his skill set very well. His opponent was just spazzing and spamming shots with no defense in mind, and he was left flat on his face for it. As far as street fight knockouts go, this has got to be an A+.
On you, use it. Jab step active. Jab step active.
I love how Street Beeps has both bouts that look worse than bar fights and then fights like this that would even be impressive on the upper amateur leagues. This is a banger of a bout, and both of these fighters have some serious skill. The matchmaker at Street Beeps was working some magic getting these guys in the ring, or whatever you call that thing that they're fighting in. The fighter in the green shorts is really comfortable in his defense and keeps putting his back to the ropes. His opponent, who looked great early on, got a bit greedy with his early success and lost his focus. For that, he ate a head kick that put him out. The guy in the green remained composed and kept making reads, whereas his opponent was trying to force the finish. What do you think of this scrap? Pretty legit, huh?
When he enters on you, use it. Jab step active. Jab step active.
Is hurting him. Some of these, the sound in this venue, they're like wet crunches. That's enough.
Coming from Jorge Masvidal's fighting organization, it's fitting that this bout seems like a glorified backyard brawl. If you didn't know, Jorge Masvidal is a former two-time UFC title challenger, and prior to fighting professionally, he was throwing some bones in the backyards with Kimbo Slice and crew. The fight is pretty much over as soon as the clip starts, but the ref saw some fight left in the shorter fighter, who's bruised, battered, and every other adjective that is antithetical to victorious. However, he hung in there and went out on his shield like a warrior. Really, he never truly went out. It was just the ref finally decided to save him from himself. Some fighters are too tough for their own good, but that shouldn't take away from his opponent who, as we can see here, has some absolute weapons for limbs.
Look at that. Look. That is what bare knuckle fighting, bare knuckle mixed martial arts, game bred fighting.
Yeah! Are you starting off, y'all? Yeah!
What's that work right here?
I feel like both these girls are related to Justin Gaethje. It's a bit odd how much fun they look like they're having in there, landing punches on each other. Like, I get it. I think sparring can be fun, but these girls are throwing their heart and soul in every punch, and it's kind of frightening for me. And I'm behind a computer. This is a pretty exciting scrap, though, if you hate defense. These girls have no regard for saving face, or rather, their focus is on sleeping the other, but like in a friendly way, it seems. One thing that I really like, and that you don't see often in street fights, is that the girl in the black is attacking the body. It's almost a guarantee that street fighters will be headhunting the entire time, but not here.
Keep going.
Hang in there, girl.
There we go. Good body. Go ahead. This your fault. Okay.
Here's another great example of hitting the body. When your opponent's first thought when they hear body shot is tequila and belly buttons, it's likely they don't know how to take a punch to the body. Not a lot of people do. The guy in the black gloves is working his opponent's body, and he's hard to predict. You can see the fighter in the blue is quickly losing confidence, stamina, and the will to be in there as the body shot numbers pile up. The fighter in the black is obviously a humble and nice guy. There are plenty of times that he could have looked for the chin and scored a knockout, or rather he just peppered his opponent upstairs and really dug into those body shots. Eventually he landed a bomb in the liver, which is also the no mas button on a human, and this dude went down. The girl in the pink is the girl from earlier who I applauded for ripping some body shots in her previous fight. Let's see what she's got in store for us this bout. Her punches are a lot more straight, long, and actually have some good pop on them. The difference between her from this video and the previous one is night and day. This is what a month in the boxing gym can do for about anybody. She hits her opponent early on, but they get back at it, and it's a very exciting scrap for as long as it lasts. Her opponent, clearly outclassed, is fighting with no skill, no stamina, but a whole lot of heart. Though that doesn't win fights, it does win fans. But yeah, again, it doesn't win fights. I want to double down on that. As I double down on that, the girl in the pink doubles down on getting her opponent to drop. A right hand from an odd angle finds the mark, and that's the fight. Her opponent didn't answer the 10 count, and we've got a winner. Shout out to Fight Flicks on YouTube for the footage. Great stuff over there. Be sure to check them out and give them credit. When I say these fighters can crack, I like to keep things relative to skill level, weight, and a lot of other things. These girls aren't cracking as in landing hard, but they're fighting their hearts out for the masses on the internet to watch and applaud or criticize, which is a lot more than most people do. However, I'm going to use my right to criticize and, well, criticize. These girls do not know how to punch at all, and that's how most people go into fighting. They think that they know what they're doing, and a lot of times, they're lucky enough to fight someone else who has no idea what they're doing. This is a bad fight, but it's good to show polarizing footage. It really makes the previous bouts look like what we want UFC 300 to be. Have you ever seen a worse fight? It was at a Waffle House, wasn't it?
Break it down! Keep going! Keep going! Break it down! Break it down!
I'm gonna bite my tongue and not talk about this guy's star tattoos on his shoulders. That's not a bad tattoo at all. No, it doesn't scream, I peaked in high school at all. If you have similar tattoos, I'm sorry. But yeah, the fight. The guy with the shoulder tattoos is obviously more skilled than his opponent, and it's just a few things that he does better. He makes reads, he uses feints, and he doesn't freeze up when they begin to clinch. Those elements are what made the fight go this way. Otherwise, they're both just throwing 1,000% without using jabs or anything fancy to land the big ones.
Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go!
If you know Sean Strickland, you know he's a UFC champion, a street fighter, and overall an absolute lunatic. The guy is down to fight anyone, anywhere, and at any time. I mean, who else has a compilation of road rage incidents on the internet? Nobody I know of. As seen here, Strickland loves this stuff. He really feels more at home while getting hit in the face than he does watching a movie on the couch. Strickland is a special breed, and he makes it hard to love or hate him exactly. Regardless, this guy is must-see TV. He always has been. But now that he's gotten to the peak of fighting competition, it's nothing but excitement from here on out. Not quite as gnarly, but still a true fighter through and through is Conor McGregor. He's done the most for the UFC since the pioneers, and it's hard to imagine anyone rising to his level of stardom for some time. Truly one of a kind. And that's because, at least before the money, he lived and breathed fighting. Nothing else. Because he had nothing else. Now he's got everything he could ask for, and if the rumors are true, he'll be making a return to the octagon this summer. From this footage, we see a very sharp and skilled striker. The way he pops his jabs, controls the rhythm, and cuts his opponent off of the cage is some true veteran stuff. Are you a McGregor fan? I'm a McGregor fan myself, but primarily when he's kicking. That's when he's the most exciting. He spars in a really cool way. Like he isn't trying to starch anyone, but he's making it irrefutable that he just dog-walked his partner. It's a fine line to walk, and McGregor is walking it easily. And worth noting, that sprawl was a thing of beauty. A lot of people, particularly boxing fans, trash that hands-down striking. But having the hands down is what stops a lot of grappling attacks. Great stuff from the Notorious.
Take him down. Take him down.
Take him down.
There you
Let's
go.
go.
There you
Right
go.
up for the triangle.
Slide up to the top.
Good.
Boy,
Put your leg on him and look up. Put your leg on him and look up.
You got it.
Look up.
You got it.
Look up.
You got it.
Fights like this are where sloppy and skilled intersect. They're throwing with decent technique, but they're spazzing. It's like watching a two-stripe white belt go after a one-stripe white belt. They know more than nothing, but they still haven't calmed down. That's me being slightly pretentious about fighting, though. Overall, this is a fun scrap, and I enjoyed watching it. Kicks are getting checked, they're utilizing head movement, they're making adjustments as things pan out. Heck, at the end, there was even a triangle choke attempt that he sort of adjusted correctly.
Yes, sir. Lay down the fight right now. Boom. No. Yes, good. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Go away. Yeah, take him down. Take him down.
Take him down.
Take him down.
There you
Good
go.
stuff.
There you
Right
go.
up for the triangle.
Slide up to the top.
Good.
Boy,
Put your leg on him and look up. Put your leg on him and look up.
You got it.
Look up.
You got it.
Look up.
You got it.
Keep looking up.
You got it.
Keep looking up.
You got it.
Keep looking up.
You got it.
You got it, bro.
You got it.
Looking
You'll
up.
come
They
up out of
ain't
that.
even. They ain't
You'll come
tight.
up out of that.
They-
Yeah. Round and pound. Round and pound. There you go.
Okay, I had to use one more one-sided fight for the video. I love the back-and-forth bouts, but seeing a beatdown is also fun. The fighter with the short hair just steamrolled his opponent with a takedown and earned the mount position with ease. After that, he did what the title said, and he cracked his opponent. These shots were heavy and put his opponent in a desperate position early on. This is seriously how easy it could be to win a fight. Just do a few jiu-jitsu or wrestling classes and hope that the guy trying to fight with you is around your size. Or sign up with FightFlix, either or. I'm leaving things off with this video to show that throwing heavy shots has its downsides as well. The fighter in the black shirt was throwing wild shots early on and pretty much dislocated his own shoulder. His ego had him continue fighting, but at that point, you're pretty much just fighting with one arm, and nobody's winning like that, except for Nick Newell. Shout out to him. Either way, this was a fun fight despite the arm issues. Both guys were throwing with ill intent and had a knockout victory in mind. However, after further issues with the hurt arm, they realized it wasn't worth it and the fight was called. That does it for the video. How'd you like the content? Let us know down below. Be sure to like the video and share it. It does help us out a lot. What do you want to see next? Let us know. Subscribe and hit that bell icon to make sure you never miss an upload. Catch you next time.